Okay, I've been trying to get it on the website and haven't got it done yet. Having problems with everybody else with the web. So I'm going to make this little video right here. And this is the parts list you'll need to build the pump on the left hand side. And where it says top is the top handle end of it. And you can freeze the frame right here on the videotape and be able to write all this down. We're going to go over one more time in detail of using all these parts, assembling it. I'll show you how to tap out the bushing and what to do to the rod. And then probably by the end we'll go over to the well right here and hook the handle up and pump some water and show you how to set it in the well casing and what you may need for it depending on your application. So I'll let you look at this for another little bit and then I'll go into the explanation. Okay, we're going to go through a very quick, simple instruction how to put this thing together. Once again, there's 5 or 6 parts on the web right now. This right here will be your 36-inch piece of PVC pipe. This is 1 1/4 inch schedule 40 pipe. This is the end that will go up to the well. You have a 1 1/4 inch glue fitting to threaded adapter. This is where the 1 1/4 to 1 inch adapter will go on, and this is where the pipe will come up and go up to the rod. This is going up to the top of the well, sitting like that. That's how all this goes together. On this end down here we have a coupling, but we can do the same thing. You have a 1 1/4 inch glue fitting to thread, 1 1/4 inch bushing to 1. Then you can go with a 1 inch to 3/4 inch bushing, 3/4 inch close nipple, and this right here you can use either check valve. This is just a plain 3/4 inch foot valve off of a well. All this stuff, with a couple exceptions, everything comes from a big box store. I buy all my stuff at Ace Hardware. It's not that hard to find, but this is what the bottom end will look like, or like this. If you go with a coupling and an interior bushing, it'll screw on just like this. That's all this amounts to. The plunger end of the assembly, this right here is what's got to be found. This is a Bradley. I put the name on the thing. This is a Bradley check valve. It came from Ace Hardware. This is a 3/4 inch check valve, and the model number is a S as in Steve, F as in Frank, V as in Victor. 3/4 inch valve is all it is. But this is the only one that will fit inside of that 1 1/4 inch pipe. This is how it comes. Take this little screen off the bottom end. On my other videos, I'll show you how, it shows you how to cut the 2 grooves in here for these 2 U-cup seals. The 2 U-cup seals, as on the parts list, these came from Allen & Webb. They're a hydraulic and O-ring specialty company. Here's all it is. The part number and everything is on there. But it is a U-cup seal. It's a U12-1.12 by 18D. That is their part number. It is a standard part number for anybody who makes any kind of hydraulic seals, Motion Industries, Allen & Webb, anybody you have close to you. It is in the video. The U-cup part of it goes up, and those 2 go right there. This is a 3/4 inch check valve. This right here is where the 1/2 to 3/4 inch bushing goes, right there. This is a 4-inch bushing with about 6 holes drilled in it. This is where the water comes out at. Then it comes up here. This is the 3/8 to 1/2 inch brass reducer. And this is the only thing that gets kind of funny. This right here, this is where the 1/2 inch by 20 tap comes in. you have to run it down there. It's very easy. You can do it with a pair with just plain old crescent wrench. Straighten the threads out. The cleaning rods here, these chimney cleaning rods, fiberglass rods we use, are pretty much 1/2 inch by 20 thread. Put this in here, wrapped it up with Teflon tape on everything just so it can become undone. And it'll screw right in there and lock down in position. That's how you build the plunger end of it. The only other thing we have to do is when we get ready to put this thing down in the rod, you do need just a plain piece of about 1 inch long, 1 inch PVC pipe, and just slide that down in the pipe before you put this in. All that does is where this piece of pipe goes into the bushing, this U-cup seal will get down below it and it'll lock in place, and then you'll have to take the whole thing out to get to it. So all this is doing is hitting that piece down there. It comes in right there, and it just keeps this plunger from going too far down. Just a plain piece of 1 inch piece of PVC pipe, just drop it down into your rod. Okay, we're going to set back up and we'll go over the top end of it and how to put it in place. And then what we'll do is we'll go over to the well and I'll show you this thing pumping water once again. Now this is the top end of the well. This is your pipe coming up. This is the one to be coming up out of the well. This is all your 1 inch pieces depending on how long you have to have it. And what you will have coming out is the top end of this rod here. This would be going down to your pump. This is what they call the sucker rod. Actually, it pulls water. This is your 36 inch by 1/2 inch rod. You will need to thread this end of the rod. This is 1/2 by 20 thread, national fine thread right here. These taps and dies both came from Napa Auto Parts. They're about $7 a piece or something. You'll need to put this thing in the vise and thread this end of the rod. I knew it would do that. But this threads the end of that rod. This rod will then go into your last one coming up. It comes in. There it goes. This will be sticking out the top end of the well. This is your last section right here. This is the 1.25 inch by 1.25 inch galvanized pipe. We cut 8 inches off of it. This is the threaded end. So we stuck the one end in here, the 8 inch piece here. This right here has a 5/16 hole about from the center to the hole is about 8.5 inches. It doesn't really matter. You'll see why. Put your PVC pipe. When you get to this point, will look like that. This is your well casing. This is your pipe. The pipe going down to your well right there. This is your T, 1 inch T that you need, and these glue fittings. The 3/4 inch thread. You got one here, one there. Your rod will be sticking up. This is the 2 inch close nipple. It's a 3/4 inch close nipple. You'll need to drill about a 9/16 hole, 1/2 inch hole at the top. That will actually go there, keep the water from squirting out all over the place. This is roughly what the top end of your well will look like when it's all assembled. This is it. This right here can have a 3/4 inch to hose bib thread. If you then want to put like a hose to push water into a bucket, a washing machine hose, or you can just go 3/4 pipe and hook it into your piping system. For the handle end of it, we've taken a piece of 3/4 inch pipe, made a slide out of it, and what this does, the handle will fit right here, and you bolt it up, and then you bolt this bolt through this end, and this will be determined by how deep your well is and how hard it is. The more stroke you have on this thing, when you go ahead and put a 15-18 inch stroke on it, you'll get 5, 6, 7 gallons a minute. If you're trying to pump from 150 feet down, you may only need a 10 inch, 11 inch stroke. It's just going to depend on how hard it is. So if you lower it down to a lower hole, you don't get as much water, but it's easier to pump. If you raise it, make it longer, you have more leverage, but it also takes harder to do. We'll go ahead and show you this right here. This is for a 6-inch well cap. This is for a 6-inch well. The one I'm going to show you here in a little bit is actually in a 4-inch well. It'll work on either one. And we have it like this because the pump will actually slide in that whole hole. This 1-inch hole is where the regular, your 220 volt pump is coming up out of now. The one we'll go ahead and stop and go show it to you with the handle on and everything is actually a 4-inch well that has two pumps in it. Right now it has a 220 volt pump, a regular household electric pump, and it has a hand pump, and in the next week or so it will be getting a solar powered pump down it as well, all in a 4-inch casing. So I'll stop this video and we'll go over and set up at the pump, and I'll show you what that all looks like. Okay, we're back over at this well house. This is the well cap seal I was telling you about. This is on a 4-inch well. You loosen these up, raise this wherever you want. Mainly it's made so you can take the handle off. You can be able to lower this thing all the way down to the well cap. If you're one of those people that have your well underneath a fiberglass rock in the yard and height is a problem. In this pump house, we're not really worried about it. We take the handle off because we don't need to walk around it. But the handle's here. Raise it up, lock it down in position. This is your inside this galvanized pipe. This is your PV. This is the pipe that goes all the way down to the pump. This is the 3/4 inch pipe thread, the 3/4 inch hose thread right here. We can stick a hose on this to pour it in a bucket or whatever. This is the rod coming up. This one's built a little bit different. This one's a very shallow pump, so we have a very long stroke on it. And it takes no time at all to get water out of this thing. I've been pumping it, but there it is. This one here is only set up for an 11-inch stroke. This rod that you've bought right here is 36 inches. It can go as long as 36-inch stroke. Here in a future video, we're going to be putting a 24-volt motor on this pump, and it'll then have a 30-inch stroke out of it. It will then be pumping about 17 gallons a minute, which is no problem as long as your well produces 17 gallons a minute. This well here produces more than that, so we're not having a problem with it. Right now, this well, after the hurricane and everything, is artesian flowing, so that's the last of our problem right now. We're just trying to keep it halfway dry and not having such a big mess. But there it is. Pump, fitting, handle, and this rod. If you're pumping, like I said, further, you want to shorten it up, make it easier to pump. If you have no problem pumping water, then you can go ahead and make it longer and get all you want. As usual, any problems, any questions, email me, let me know. I'll be more than glad to try to help you. If you have to, you may have to send a picture of what you're doing, and I can tell you how to help you out and get it hooked up to your well or pump or whatever you're doing. Thank you. Go to my website, hit the like button, and subscribe. Thank you.